man. Oh. Yeah.
Dude, I'm so ripped. How'd I lose?
I'm a football player.
Tyler,
Oh,
John,
stay on.
hi.
Tiny. Yeah.
Can you reach? Okay, guys, you won't believe where I came back from.
Where? She was in China.
Thank you, Tyler. Guys, I was in China.
China.
And you know what's crazy about China? There's so much air pollution. It's crazy, okay? I was like about to cry. You know why? I found out there's so much carbon monoxide there, like so much, guys. Guys, it's crazy. And it comes from automobiles and fossil fuel burning and deforestation. It just makes me so nervous because it restricts infrared radiation going back from the Earth into space. Wake up, guys, this is important. And it causes 57% of global warming. 57%. It's so scary. And then there's nitrogen oxide, and there's a lot of acid precipitation that comes from that, and smog. And from burning of biomass and fossil fuels, and 30 to 50 million tons are released by humans every year. And there's sulfur oxide, which comes from the combustion of sulfur, and that comes from power plants and factories, guys, and it emits 95% of the sulfur dioxide in the US, not just in China. And there's lots of acid rain that comes from that, lots of acid rain. Okay, so where does all this come from? Do you guys know?
I don't know anything. I don't pay attention to APES class. I just don't.
Well, that's crazy because this is a really big deal.
We should ask Jordan, but he knows.
No, guys, I'll tell you. It comes from automobiles and commercial and
tell
industrial heating and cooling and the burning of fuels in power plants.
So the thing Mona has a hybrid.
And there's power lines, and sometimes power lines aren't insulated, and it causes a lot of voltage. And that's not good either. And mining releases particles, guys. It's crazy. And factories, they release tons of mercury into the atmosphere, which mixes with rain. And then that gets into our water, and we eat fish, which eat the mercury.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Since I, Zachary Zimmerman, the one who brought you Apesmas, the greatest holiday of the year, okay, we're gonna do an Ape survival about air pollution. Okay, so here's how it's gonna go, guys. Okay, so the one who pollutes the most, it kicks out of the Apes class. It's gonna be great, and we're just in 1 week, we're gonna decide who gets kicked out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, guys. Oh, I love Apes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
North Faces!
Moccasins!
Timberlands!
Yeah. No, APES Bros!
The APES Bros, with all their North Faces and Tims and all that stuff, you know, it's like getting really bad for the environment. With all the air pollution and stuff from the carbon dioxide that's needed to like transport all their expensive clothing and shoes.
I've read the textbook like 2 times. Like, if they didn't get all those North Faces, John Lightman's little like moccasin things, like, it wouldn't contribute to air pollution as much. And if anyone should be kicked out of this class, I would nominate one of the APES Bros.
Definitely.
Yeah, and like, kind of what Kaylee said, like, with carbon like dioxide, but there's also acid rain, and all the industry and manufacturing that goes into making the North Faces and all that stuff, it's not good for the environment. And we deserve to stay here.
Alright, Jordan. So, I just came back from swim practice, and because I consider you the leader of the APES Bros, I have something to say to you about all your North Faces and moccasins and stuff. They're causing air pollution. And you know those factories? Yeah, well, they burn fossil fuels to like make all your stuff, and that leads to acid rain and smog, which causes climate change and other associated problems such as rise in sea levels, stress on ecosystems and forests, and it's like just bad for human health. And I don't want my swimming to be jeopardized because of your buying spray. And the transportation, it causes a rise in CO2 emissions. And you know, seriously. And maybe if you talked a little less, that would also reduce CO2 emissions. Gosh.
JP, hurry up. You're going to be late for APES class.
What?
moccasins that JP commits the most air pollution in our class. I mean, he's always working on this one thing. It's called the term paper. I don't really know what that is, but there's just like so much paper involved. He keeps putting out these drafts of a term paper. And like, that's really bad because it causes deforestation, guys. It leads to CO, carbon monoxide, and that causes air pollution. And it's like putting pollution in the air, guys. Not even on the ground, on the air. I really don't know all that much about air pollution, but like, I think I took notes on it one day in class. I think Mr. Smith said something along the lines of, air pollution gathers in the atmosphere and traps heat and causes average temperatures to rise. That's like really bad. And so, yeah, people who are doing this term paper probably pollute the most.
If there's anyone who contributes to air pollution the most, I'd have to say it's just the juniors overall. Because, I mean, they're constantly printing out rough copies of their term paper, and that's like a lot of pieces of paper, and they should just do like things that could help the environment. Like, they can just print out, not just using one side, but use the front and back. They can recycle. They can do what we do in APES, like using Google Docs and editing it on there before you print out your final copy. Or you can do fun stuff like I do, like make paper cranes, okay? Like, these are awesome, right? These are cool, and you're saving the environment. And lots of air pollution could have some short-term effects. Like, I mean, irritation to the eyes and the nose and the throat, and headache and nausea and allergic reactions, and asthma symptoms. I mean, the juniors are killing the environment right now. And this can also have long-term effects when there's so much air pollution, like chronic respiratory disease and lung cancer and heart disease and damage to the brain and the nerves and your liver and damage to the body's immune, neurological, and reproductive and respiratory systems. I mean, this is just like really bad. And I mean, the juniors definitely need to work on their term paper in a different way so that we can save the environment.
It's here I come!
What? You think I'm one of the biggest polluters in the class? I shouldn't get kicked off first. Zach should be. He's always driving around. He follows me in his car when I'm at the barber shop or at the supermarket, and sometimes he just sits outside of my house. And driving pollutes so much. It puts deadly carbon monoxide in the air. It's one of the major pollutants in urban areas.
Zach, so I'm really glad you came here today. Look, as your friend, I really need to talk to you. After this whole competition started, I didn't think you contributed to air pollution that much. But when I hear things about you driving your car a lot, my opinion changed. First off, Zach, you really need to change your car if you can. I drive a hybrid to school. Okay, look at me. Look how happy I am. And I'm also helping the environment. Also, our township is trying to do a few new things that you should probably learn about. There's the Vehicle Fleet Fuel Efficiency Program, which would work to make public work vehicles more energy efficient and to reduce the amount of pollutants they give off. Also, it would encourage the buying of alternative fuels. The township is also implementing the Mobility Alternatives Program to reduce the amount of miles vehicles travel in the township, and that's definitely really relevant to you, and it would reduce emissions by reducing the number of commuters in this area. Also, the township is trying to encourage a few new things, like introducing veggie diesel for fuel usage, and reduce vehicle fleet and encourage personal vehicle usage, as well as identify feasibility of a car share program for fleet vehicles, and start a Safer Routes to School program. And Zach, as class president, I can't believe you didn't think of this, host a walk to school day. Not only would we be exercising, but we'd be helping the environment.
Sounds good, girl.